Have you ever wondered what happens if you take a predator that knows how to survive in any conditions and release it where it has no enemies? The answer is simple. You get an ecological disaster. Today, we will break down how ordinary raccoons settled in Europe and Asia, turning life in entire nations into a serious problem. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel. To understand the scale of the problem, we need to look at their homeland. Originally, the raccoon is a resident of North America. There it is part of nature, hunted by cougars, coyotes, and alligators. Constant danger taught these beasts for centuries to be cautious and cunning. Raccoons have a unique tool, their paws. They have very sensitive fingers with claws, which they wield almost as deftly as a human uses hands. They are capable of opening latches, untying knots, and breaking into various containers. In America, people have long gotten used to such neighbors. There they know you need to tightly close trash cans and keep an eye on your property. But the rest of the world turned out to be completely unprepared for the appearance of raccoons. And the saddest part is, people brought this problem into their homes themselves. The first point of our story is Germany, 1934. There is information that permission to release raccoons into the forest was given at the very highest level to diversify local nature and give hunters new game. Several pairs were released into the woods without suspecting what this would lead to decades later. The climate of Germany suited raccoons perfectly. Mild winters, lots of food, and almost no large predators like wolves or lynxes. In such greenhouse conditions, their numbers began to grow rapidly. If in the 30s there were only a few, today the count goes into the hundreds of thousands and even millions. Raccoons in Germany quickly figured out, why live in the forest if there are cities where it is warm and there is plenty to eat? The city of Kassel became a real center of raccoon habitation in Europe. Here, the density of animals is so high that you can meet them on the street just as often as a stray cat. In Germany, raccoons cause great damage to private homes. Thanks to tenacious claws, they easily climb walls, shift roof tiles, and penetrate attics. There, they ruin insulation, chew wires, and set up dens. Repairs after such guests cost owners very dearly. Now, let us transport ourselves to Japan. Here it all started not with hunting, but with a popular cartoon about a raccoon that came out in 1977. The hero was so loved by children that many Japanese families wanted to get themselves the same living critter. In those years, Japan imported thousands of raccoons a month. But people did not understand that a raccoon is a wild beast and not a house cat. When the animals grew up, they became aggressive, bit, and ruined furniture. Handling them in an apartment was impossible. Many families began simply releasing pets into the forest or park. Finding themselves free, the American predators discovered ideal conditions. In Japan, they have no enemies, but have plenty of food. They began to multiply quickly, displacing local animals. The damage for Japan turned out to be very serious because of architectural features. Ancient temples there are built of wood. Raccoons sharpen claws on historic buildings, gnaw passages in walls of ancient monuments, and pollute sacred places. This is a huge loss for the culture of the country. Japanese farmers lose big money every year. Raccoons really love fruits, vegetables, and rice. Moreover, they spoil much more harvest than they can eat. They take bites out of produce, break plants, and often strangle poultry. But destruction is not everything. Raccoons can carry dangerous diseases such as rabies and various parasites. Some of them can be extremely dangerous for human health. Therefore, contact with this beast is a big risk. Why is it so hard to deal with them? It is all about their mind. Scientists say the intelligence of a raccoon is very high. They have excellent memory. If a beast learned to open a tricky lock once, it will remember this forever and possibly show others. The city for them is a convenient place for life. Sewers and pipes serve them as safe roads. Dumpsters serve as a source of food. They go out to hunt at night when people sleep, so fighting them is very difficult. You simply do not see them. Authorities try to take measures. In Germany, hunters shoot many individuals every year, but specialists say this helps little. When the population decreases, the remaining beasts have more cubs, and the numbers recover quickly. In Japan, special capture services have been created. Phone lines work where you can report a pest. This requires large expenses from the budget, but they do not see another way out yet. Shipping them back is impossible, and leaving them in the wild is dangerous. Tourists also face problems. In parks, raccoons have completely stopped fearing people. They can drag away a bag, break into a tent, and even bite if you try to chase them away from food. In some places, warnings already hang. Be careful, do not feed wild animals. The strongest quality of raccoons is the ability to adapt. They eat everything: fish, insects, food scraps from trash, or pet food. They live both in the forest and in the center of a big city. It seems they can survive anywhere. Raccoons cause harm to local nature too. In Europe, they raid bird nests, eating eggs and small animals. Local species, not accustomed to such a cunning predator, often cannot defend themselves against it, and there are becoming fewer of them. It is especially hard for elderly people in villages. It is difficult for them to handle the invasion on their own, to fix a roof or chase a brazen beast from their yard. For retirees, such a neighborhood becomes a real disaster. Modern methods of control include sterilization, but this is very expensive and complicated. Raccoons learn to bypass traps quickly. As soon as you come up with a new lock for a trash can, after some time, the beasts find a way to open it. Now specialists look to the east with anxiety. Raccoons are already appearing in countries neighboring Germany and may penetrate the territory of Russia. If they get used to colder winters, the problem will become common for many states. The story with raccoons is an important lesson. Humans interfered with nature, some for the sake of hunting, others for the sake of fashion for exotic pets. We disrupted the natural order, and now we have to pay for the mistakes of the past. Today, in many districts of Germany, residents have already resigned themselves. They put protection on drain pipes so beasts cannot climb up, and tightly lock doors. The raccoon has become just as familiar a phenomenon as bad weather. The attitude toward the raccoon is also changing. Previously, it was considered a funny little animal, but now people understand this is a cunning and strong wild beast capable of standing up for itself and causing a massive trouble. What to do when meeting a raccoon? The main rule is do not get close. Do not corner it. It will defend itself. And never feed them. If you feed one, soon its whole family will come to you and settle nearby for a long time. Some people still try to keep raccoons at home, but this requires huge patience and strength. For the majority, a raccoon is an unsuitable pet, which is capable of wrecking an apartment very quickly. So who wins in this confrontation? For now, the advantage is on the side of raccoons. They master new territories, there become more of them, and people only build fences higher. Perhaps we will have to get used to living next to them. This situation shows how easy it is to disrupt natural balance. One decision many years ago led to the fact that today, entire countries spend huge funds on fighting consequences. The beast that was brought for the sake of interest now dictates conditions itself. And how do you feel about this problem? Do you consider that it is necessary to take harsher measures, or is there nothing to be done with nature? Write your opinion and subscribe to the channel. There is still a lot of interesting stuff ahead.